Spritz are simple butter cookies shaped by putting the dough through a cookie press or by piping it through a pastry bag fitted with a decorative tip. In German, Spritz means to press out of a bag. There are two basic cookie mixing methods, one stage and creaming. For Spritz cookies, the creaming method is going to be used and is fundamental to the knowledge of a pastry chef or a baker. Spritz cookies are considered piped cookies, meaning the dough must be soft enough to be forced through a pastry bag and a decorative tip, but stiff enough to hold its shape. To prepare the dough, have all the ingredients measured and in front of you. All ingredients should be at room temperature to ensure that they're going to incorporate easily and evenly during the mixing process. Proper mise en place is very important in all culinary preparations. Mise en place is a French term meaning everything in its place. This includes the equipment, hand tools, ingredients, and the formulas. Also, when piping cookie batters, have the sheet pans prepared and the piping bag and pastry tip assembled before the mixing of the batter, because the dough becomes harder to pipe as it's allowed to sit and cool. Grease and line a baking sheet with parchment paper. For this mix, we're going to cream together the butter, the sugar, the vanilla, and the salt in a mixing bowl fitted with a paddle. Vanilla. Cream at medium speed until the mixture is light in color and has gained volume and developed a smooth texture. We're going to scrape the bottom of the bowl and make sure that all the butter is scraped well so that we get an even mixture. With the machine running at low speed, add the eggs and milk slowly until well incorporated. We're going to scrape periodically to make sure that everything emulsifies. This step is also very important because the eggs and the butter must emulsify together to ensure a proper consistency in the finished product. Because emulsification is temperature sensitive, all the ingredients must be at the same temperature. This step also helps to incorporate more air into the batter and adds emulsifiers from the egg yolks, creating a creamy mixture that holds in the air bubbles. You can see the butter was properly emulsified. We're going to fold the sifted dry ingredients into the batter now, being careful not to overmix. Overmixing develops the gluten, which toughens the dough. The dough is coming together nicely now. We're going to fill the fitted pastry bag half full of dough. Using a constant, even pressure, pipe the dough onto a prepared sheet pan. That little bit of dough will help keep the paper from sliding around. I'm going to demonstrate some different shapes. To finish the cookie, release the pressure and then lift the tip away. If the tip is lifted away before the pressure is released, the dough will form a tail at the top of the cookie, which will more than likely burn or get too dark during the baking. Bake the Spritz cookies between 375 and 400 degrees for 10 to 12 minutes. The cookies should be firm to the touch with a small amount of color. You can also wiggle the parchment paper. If the cookies move, they're done. If the bottoms become much darker than the tops, lower the temperature or use 2 sheet pans during baking process. I have some cookies that are done now. Let's take a look. You see how they wiggle and they're loose from the paper? That means they're done.